Beast Mode 2.0, or is it 3.0, or is it 4.0, or is it 5.0? Well, Mr. Mickey Antonio, the pundit that plays for West Ham. His job title now officially is pundit. I'm only joking, all joking aside. Obviously, welcome back to the West Ham Network. I'm Anton, bringing you today's West Ham Daily. You've already seen Russ give you an update on players coming back potentially for the game against Arsenal. And I'm just going to kind of elaborate a little bit more on the Antonio situation. But before I do that, if you are new around here, go and hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. Please leave a comment as well on the channel. That would be fantastic. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, hit that option to join the channel membership as well. You get entered into really cool prize draws for that. On top of that, there is a little bell notification. Hit that bell notification. That will, of course, notify you when our shows do go live. So click on that little bell notification, and that will keep you up to date with all the latest of the West Ham news. Join me later on as I talk through some of the Hammers headlines for today's in association with Knees Up Mother Brown. And before we get started, get yourself across 2 football prizes. Check out this fantastic prize, £3.95, 175 tickets on sale. The competition ends on Friday the 9th of February at 7:30 p.m. As signed and framed West Ham shirts as well, with 22 instant win prizes on the table. So get yourself across there to our channel sponsors, football prizes, to win that fantastically signed West Ham away top. What a prize for you. Now we're here to talk about this man, the pundit that is Mickey Antonio, as he starts to make his return back for West Ham from injury. Now, the funny thing is, I started off the show by saying Antonio 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. The reason why I was jesting about that was because Antonio has been such a massive part of West Ham's growth since joining the club. Nobody probably would have anticipated his trajectory with this club, but he's gone on to make a very good impact at West Ham since joining us, obviously moving in to the Premier League. However, let's rewind slightly several years ago when West Ham were looking to move on from maybe the Antonio saga, from maybe placing Antonio into the forefront of all our striking, demands. And nobody would have ever have thought that Antonio would still be here and still become relied upon at West Ham, considering we've signed many a striker valued 4 times probably more than what Antonio was at the height of his career. Sebastian Haller, Gianluca Scamacca, Javier Hernandez. We have had all these players in our midst. However, the one player we are still relying upon is Mickey Antonio. Now, that frustrates some West Ham fans, and it doesn't frustrate others. What we do have, though, is a player that can cause problems. We know that. And if you utilize a player like Antonio, then I don't think properly in a squad, then I don't think many people have as many problems with his inclusion of staying with West Ham. What I mean by that is, I don't think he should be the main starter for West Ham week in and week out. I think he should be the backup striker and or utilised off of the bench. I couldn't think of any other better player who can make an impact off the bench than Antonio. 20 minutes at the end to cause defences problems, use the physicality, work the wings, do what he does best for the last 20 to 30 minutes, especially if you need to turn a game around on its head. That's what he will do. It's when we become reliant on Antonio is the issue that I and many West Ham other fans have. Now, the funny thing is, he seems to rise to occasions when people doubt him the most. It's true. We have doubted him several times in his West Ham career, and he's bounced back and gave us very, very, very good, consistent performances over a short space of time. Then he dwindles away again. That's not a detriment to him. That's a detriment maybe to the style of play that West Ham play. Maybe that's a detriment to him. Maybe that's just a few different things. He's going to do what he's asked to do. It's as simple as that. He gave us a little bit of an insight into what he's asked to do. He was on punditry yesterday evening, Monday Night Football. Jamie Carragher was pressing him to ask him, what has been your best element and best time in football? And quite oddly, which I did find quite odd, but then I tried to understand why he said it. He actually was pushed on the matter by Jamie Carragher, and he said, when his played at Nottingham Forest was what he believed was his best time at playing football. Because what he did at Forest, the confidence he had, scoring 15 goals, 15 assists, and what he was doing that year was unbelievable. And he's shocked, he said himself, that's what he's saying. But he was playing left wing at the time, and he was beating 4 or 5 men at a time and putting it into the top corner week in and week out. Then he went on to say another interesting topic, which was right now at West Ham, I'm told I'm not allowed to shoot from outside the box. But at Nottingham Forest, all I was doing was scoring from outside the box. And he said, where was the confidence coming from? He said it was just playing games, obviously just signing and then scoring goals. And it just happened to be fair. Then I signed for West Ham and I didn't get to play for 3 months and went right back. That's interesting points. But however, we have had to utilise him many a time over several different positions at West Ham. In actual fact, if you look at his career as a whole, he has played as a centre forward 165 times throughout all of his clubs. But when you look at all the other positions he's played in, he's had to cover so many different areas. Right midfield, 84 times. Left midfield, 70 times. Right winger, 31 times. Left winger, 21 times. Right back, 19 times. It just is all over the place. He even played left back once as well. But essentially, he's been utilised, in my opinion, and can be utilised properly if we utilise him the way that we as fans genuinely see him fit. He's obviously picked up an injury. It's obviously had a major impact on him this season, even though he has played 12 games in the Premier League. He has scored 2 goals and got 2 assists this season. But I'm telling you now, we need him back. We need him back sooner rather than later when we are going through the transition, whatever this transition is right now. It's not great, but we need that style of footballer back, because right now, when people are saying West Ham can only play one way, then we switched it because we were forced to, but bang, we're playing one way again. And we need to be able to change that and change the dynamics. You know, I think if you come up against Arsenal and maybe go at Arsenal or try and play the way we played them at Emirates, I don't think that will work. I think they will have done their due diligence and worked out, right, we can't do what we did against West Ham at the Emirates. If the West Ham turn up against the Arsenal that we did when we played them in the Carroll Bowl Cup, that's different because you can get at them. And I still think teams like Arsenal can be got at from the back because they like to play the ball from the back. Ramsdale, Rhea, they like to play the ball, feed it through the back, and we can't force them into errors. We're not going to have Paquetá there. So this is the opportunity, if Antonio is fit, to come in and start and or come off the bench and cause them problems. When we doubt him the most is when he rises to the occasion. It's been historically on his radar and system with West Ham his whole career. We doubted him 3 or 4 years ago for the first time, and bang, he kicked back in again and got 10 goals consecutively in 3 seasons on the trot. 3 seasons on the trot, he scored 10 goals for West Ham. On top of that, having 3 assists, then 5 assists, then 8 assists. You know, his best return for West Ham was in the 21-22 season where he played 36 games for us in the Premier League, scoring 10 goals with 8 assists. Even last year, he got 33 games with 5 goals and 3 assists and didn't start every single game, but we became reliant on him again. And right now, I feel like coming into the second part of the season, it could feel like a new signing, as ridiculous as that sounds, as ridiculous as people say, why are we still relying on Antonio? Well, he's coming back. He's raring to go. He's fighting fit, and he'll be wanting to prove a point. He absolutely will. And I think none other better game than the game against Arsenal at home at the London Stadium. I'm putting maybe a lot of pressure on the situation. I'm trying to find a positive from the situation. You can't deny that this is a positive if he is fit and raring to go for this game against Arsenal. Whether or not he's fit enough to start will be another question. Either way, if he features, he can absolutely cause Arsenal's defence's problems because he'll work the wings, he'll drop back in deep, and he will be beast mode because we all know that beast mode is sometimes hard to manage. And Arsenal will have done their due diligence, but they've done their due diligence without Mickey Antonio being fit. And fingers crossed, he being fit can catch them off guard. Maybe I'm living in a pipe dream. Maybe I'm dreaming right now and talking utter. But let's hope that something can be different for the game on Sunday, because let's not take this away from anything. This is going to be a tough game, and we need to be on top of it from the start, 100%. I have faith in what Antonio can do. I have faith in he being an important player for us come the end of the season, but we definitely need to move from the times. There is no ifs or buts about it. We can't be in the same situation again next year. you know, I love Antonio. He's been at the club since 2015, 2016 season. Can't believe he's going on a 10-year journey with West Ham, scoring 77 goals in total in all competitions and 45 assists. But he is pushing on. He's 33. He'll actually be 34 in March. And this is his last hurrah in the Premier League, then so be it. Let's hope he can do something against the Arsenal game. You may think I'm living in a pipe dream, like I said, but there you go. There's my opinion on Mickey Antonio. When people doubt him the most, he can sometimes bounce back. Let's hope he puts maybe his international career to the back burner and focus solely on West Ham for the time being. I don't see that happening. Anyway, take it easy, of course, and come on, you hands.